for today, Rick Brown. Rick arrived in Montana for second grade and graduated from Corvallis High School and the DeVray, did I say that? DeVray. I knew I did that. Thank you. I lost you. Institute of Technology. So he is the former owner of RV Lawn Service. His more esoteric studies include just Holy Fire Reiki 3. Okay, I can't say that first one. Karuna Reiki Master Practitioner, and he is a lay pastoral associate of the Montana Synod, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. His current healing practice, Reiki with Rick, is at the Bioenergy Balancing Center here in Hamilton. And something that I personally know about Rick is that he is a very kind and generous man and does Reiki in hospice. So help me welcome Rick Brown.
Yes, you got a microphone there? There. Well, thank you. Is it too loud?
No.
Speak pretty loudly. I just want to thank you all for the invitation to share a bit of my life with you today, and thanks for being present here for the co-creation. It takes a village to do these things, so thank you very much. I'm going to share some stories today, some personal stories about some of my experiences with harvesting spiritual abundance. And some things I thought about as I prepared today were that word harvest. It implies work, doesn't it? We're going to have to be committed to do some work. And we often use our bare hands to harvest, but tools can make the job easier. And often without proper tool, harvesting is impossible. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some tools that I found helpful in my spiritual walk and in harvesting spiritual abundance. And I guess other things I thought about, well, what exactly does spiritual mean? Isn't it all spiritual? And that's kind of the way I look at it. And for me, I'm right in the middle of can spiritual and religious live side by side? They have to be mutually exclusive. And timing. You know, a piece of fruit, a vegetable, whatever you're harvesting, it's ready when it's ready. And we're not in control of that moment, you know, but we've got to be ready, we've got to be aware, and we've got to act when that moment comes, when that harvest is ready. So, I'm going to jump right in at my age 30. And I got married at age 30 because, hey, I was getting pretty old. And getting married could solve all my problems. So fast forward 8 years, I'm getting my first divorce for basically the same reasons. I'm getting old, and divorce will solve all my problems. There's an interesting theory that I didn't really get a chance to try because 28 days after my first divorce was finalized, I was married again with 3 children. Stop me! So, anyway, now we're at Y2K, remember year 2000. And I don't exactly remember the details, but I imagine I agreed to a New Year's resolution to start going to church to save the second marriage. And I had never, been to church in my life. So here I am in the first weekend of April in 2000, sitting in a church. And in this church, is everyone familiar with altar calls? And someone says, come on down and give your life to Jesus. Well, I heard that for months, and then this day, boy, my heart just started pounding, and I'm sitting there sweating, and we'd had a knockdown, drag-out fight before church, so for whatever reason, I chose to get up and go forward. And at age 44, I was, as they say, some people's worst nightmare, a born-again Christian. I had no idea what that meant. I know what it meant for me. I stopped being a nice person, an acronym for nice being nothing inside cares enough, to a very, thank you, I don't want to get emotional, but I want to be a kind and gentle person, and this was a night and day difference for me in that area, night and day difference. And I was filled with that. I didn't understand it. I thought I just was empty, but I was filled with that peace that passes all understanding. I didn't even know that was in the Bible, but that's what I was left with after that decision. And for me, my inner furnace was just a slow boiling, all directed at everything rage. That's where I lived all the time. So that all changed. And what came next was a love for the Bible. And I listened to the whole Bible on cassette at work, driving truck. I was driving truck at the time, and that's commitment. But I did it. For some reason, I fell in love with New Testament Greek. It's the most beautiful language. And I found hope. I was 44 years old, and I had never felt hope. But I found hope in those stories, the stories in the Bible. And, hope. In the New Testament Greek, just a quickie, hope isn't like, oh, I hope I get a new Cummins diesel Dodge truck tomorrow. That kind of a hope. When they speak of hope in the Bible, it's like, I hope the sun comes up tomorrow. It's a done deal. And that's the kind of hope I was given. And anyway, I settled into Faith Lutheran Church, is where I've been worshiping ever since that time. And we lost a pastor, and the guy goes, "Oh, how can I help?" And the other pastor goes, "Have I got a deal for you?" And the LPA program, the Lay Pastoral Associate program, was presented to me. It was in its second year. And anyway, I won't go into all the details about that, but 2 years of study, 2 years of gathering on weekends, going to, continuing at events with clergy, and I was, at the end of 2 years, licensed to be able to preach in any Lutheran church or any church connected with Lutherans. I preached a couple in Hamilton here when they, ran out. A group of us kept 2 churches going up in Missoula and Arley. That was the kind of, we're pinch hit pastors, fill in on Sunday, that kind of thing. So, on my road to this, the first spiritual abundance story I want to share with you was I got roped into being a chaperone for 16 high school kids on a Seattle trip. And we were staying at a college in Issaquah that was closed for the summer. Long story short, these kids figured out how to get into the pool at the college at 3 in the morning. And one girl brought out a couple bottles of wine she'd been saving for just such an occasion. And so anyway, that was the night before, and the pastor and I had been trading morning devotions. The kids would come in and we'd do a devotional. And so this next morning, they'd been up 3, 4 in the morning, They'd come in at 8 into this room, high school kids. Every head went down on the table, and oh God, we're going to get it now. And it was my verse given to me was from the book of Matthew at the end time stories. And Jesus basically says, at the end of everything, there's going to be 2 lines. Going to be some sheep, going to be some goats. You want to be in the sheep line, okay? And that was going to be my sermon or my little homily to these kids. Well, it's all fun and games now, but you want to be a sheep, you're going to be a goat. And so I get up, and I call it the Holy Spirit, the voice I hear all the time now, said, "Tell them you love them." "Well, I love you guys." Heads start talking about, "Tell them how proud you are of them." "I'm really proud of you guys." More and more heads, smiles come up, and it was not what I thought I was saying, but it was God telling me, the Spirit. I like the way you guys say Spirit. If you're going to talk for me to other people, it's going to be a message of grace. It's going to be a message of forgiveness and love. None of this speaking the truth in love stuff. No shaking the finger. So that was really a powerful day, and I quite frankly, I coveted that feeling. I wanted God to touch me personally and speak to me through me personally. So anyway, that's what I did, and from there, I ended up serving for 6.5 years. Every Sunday, I was at a church. I was at a nursing home from Arley, Montana to here. 2 jobs. I started work at 3 in the morning and I ended at 5, 9 months of the year. And I worked all day Saturdays. Had 3 school-age kids, like I said. A lot of activities there. Not much time left for the marriage relationship. And even though it was a church thing and all that, well, that marriage ended too. And so for the next 12 years, all I did was work 7 days a week and go to church. I go to church and then I'd work after church. So here I am, here's me 12 years of that. I'm 270 pounds. I'm on medication for gout and high blood pressure. I'm taking sleeping pills because when I try to fall asleep, I have a panic attack. And I think I can't breathe. So I sleep like every 2 or 3 days. I'll get some sleep when I'm totally exhausted. And that's where I was at. And I'm in for a physical with my doctor, and she comes out and screams, "Rick, you gotta lose some weight." And that was the catalyst. And for some reason, one of those infomercials, I got into juicing and eating, why that worked, juicing and not eating processed foods. And in 2 years, I dropped over 70 pounds, which was a good start. It wasn't even my goal. Kind of, at that period, too, was self-sabotaging myself at work. And I didn't quit, I didn't get fired, but you know how that goes. It was sort of one of those deals. And at age 60, I became self-employed. Not by choice, but thank you, Lord, that I had something else to fall back on. So, that's kind of where I'm at. And I guess being self-employed really taught me to live in that state of grace where give me this day my daily bread. And that was a big thing for me. And the idea, like Dave talked about last week, that what I have is enough. Man, in America, enough is we live like kings compared to the rest of the world. And also I learned to phrase the way I looked at things differently and not ask, as so many do, how can it get any worse than this? But to instead ask, how can it get better than this? The universe is going to show you the answer to either question. Why not ask, how can it get better? So, my life did get better. This process, I wanted to make up for lost time, perhaps. But I'd always heard, some reason I developed this obsession about Reiki. I heard about Reiki. And I found a practitioner, had my first Reiki experience. I was in such an altered state of consciousness, such a place of beauty and peace and love and just, oh man, it grabbed me. I told the practitioner, this is what I wouldn't even have done back had that not happened. And I felt like if my Christian experience had prepared my soul to receive more of God's grace in my life and to get me ready for that, then the Reiki for me has been the actualization of accepting that grace, to really incorporate it. We're all on our own paths, but for me that made the love of the universe concrete for me. I just carry it with me all the time. You know, there's no separation. There's no separation from source, you know, from spirit, from each other. We're just all little kind of flames of the same thing. So it's not a religion. Reiki's never, you know, pushed as a religion, but for me it's really a big part of my daily spiritual practice. And is serving with hospice. Oh my God. Stories I could tell. Beautiful. The response and the help it is for hospice people. So anyway, I continued working with the Reiki. And another modality which I'm going to bring in here as a tool for folks to perhaps consider. And I'm going to go quickly, so at coffee, if anything comes up that you're interested in, please come and talk about it. But there's a modality called the emotion code. And within the emotion code, there's an idea of a heart wall. And I understand the heart wall as being all the energy that we put up to protect ourselves in hurtful and stressful situations. We put up 5 minutes, okay. Woo, no way. Okay, so smile on my face, huge smile of joy, and I finally texted the practitioner doing this, and I said, what's going on? And I mean, people are slapping me because I'm so happy. You know, if you want to help people, be extremely happy around them. It drives them insane. But anyway, if it sounds like it might resonate, you can try, explore getting that heart wall removed. It's so awesome. Tapping, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Tapping has saved my life. I tap every day. I tap when I'm anxious. I tapped this morning. I tapped to reduce pain levels, to reduce the stress caused by the pain. You might see I'm kind of rehabbing my back and hip. Tapping. I think they should teach it in school. I think they should teach it in churches. It's made a huge difference in my life. I'm not going to have time to tell my whole story here, so I'm just going to keep going. Eckhart Tolle. When I say Eckhart Tolle in a church setting, people are a little lost. I think Eckhart Tolle in here rings a lot of bells. A lot of pain in a relationship in this time too. Very, very large learning experience. But I somehow was led to Eckhart Tolle on YouTube videos and his idea of the pain body. Everyone, the pain body being all the negative emotions, all the hurt, it's a living entity we carry with us. All that negativity, it's that negative self-talk, oh, you're no good, oh, you're going to choke today, those kind of things. And it's just a living entity, and it lives on pain. It lives on negativity, and it makes us believe that we are that negative stream of self-talk. And when I grasped that idea, I literally stood up in my house, and I won't say what I said, but I said, forget you, pain body. And the thing about the pain body is it can't take scrutiny. It shrinks. The minute I said that, I just felt it collapse and down to nothing. It was awesome. So, these are things I share with people. These, they can help you. There's so much help. I get to be real negative and real down, thinking about, this and this and this. But there's so many beings and entities around us that all they're there, they just want us to succeed. God isn't a God of judgment and this. He wants us to succeed. And all the angels, everybody, all we have to do is quit listening to that negative self-talk and just think and experience all that love that surrounds us. It's to me, when I talk about think about harvesting spiritual abundance, gratitude. To me, gratitude is everything. Even in Paul and Colossians says, above all, be thankful. Teacher Muji, is that how you say his name? I just ran across him. Anyway, he said, let thank you be your mantra and gratitude be your religion. Aesop of Aesop's Fable said, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Another guy I read a lot, Carlos Castaneda, he says, the trick is in what one emphasizes. We either make ourselves miserable or make ourselves happy. The amount of work is the same. So, how much time now? Okay, so in closing, I just want to leave you with this. Gratitude is both the path to harvesting spiritual abundance, and gratitude in all situations is the fruit of that harvest. Thank you so much.